here with us today. Thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule and supporting this cause. I have to acknowledge the presence of Her Excellency, Ambassador Nicola Pollitt, Secretary, Ministry of Finance, Mr. Madhu Marasini, Mayor of Tansen Municipality, Mr. Ashok Kumar Shahi, former Governor of Nepal Rashtra Bank, Dr. Chiranjeevi Nepal, Secretary of Ministry of Information and Communication Technology, Mr. Vaikuntha Aryal, nominated Nepali Ambassador to Nepal, Dr. Shankar Sharma, President of Nepal Yarn Manufacturer Association and CBFIN, Mr. Pawan Golyan, all our other esteemed guests from the Diplomatic Corps, Government of Nepal, designers, craftsmen, buyers, and sellers. Once again, thank you so much for joining us in this event. It is great to see this hall filled with people from all walks of life. The presence and participation from the private sector, from the financial sector, has really made us happy and proud in doing this event. I'd like to start with a very special welcome. Ladies and gentlemen, please do join me in welcoming the architects of this movement. President Purnamaya Maharjan, whose family established the very first Palpali Dhaka industry back in 1958. Purnamaya ma'am, we are very, very honored to have you here. Also the founder of Palpali Dhaka Association, Mr. Sagar Man Maharjan. I think I'll request everyone to take a walk down the red carpet and join us out in front. Ladies and gentlemen, please give them a big, big round of applause. Vice President of PTA, Hari Bahadur Raemaji. Secretary, Manoj Prasad Paudel. Treasurer, Gyanu Karki. Members, Saraswati Bhattrai, Narayan Gopal Pandey, Fanisara Gaha, Santosh Shrestha, Durga Bahadur Saru, दिपा राणा यहाँहरु सबैजनालाई अगाडि आइदिनुको लागि म अनुरोध गर्न चाहन्छु तपाईहरुको मेहनतले गर्दाखेरि नै आज हामी यो कार्यक्रम गर्न सकेका छौं जोरदार ताली एकचोटी उहाँहरु सबैजनालाई पूर्णमाया म्यामलाई पनि हामी अगाडि आइदिनुको लागि अनुरोध गर्न चाहन्छौं 1958 मा उहाँले फर्स्ट पालपाली ढाका इन्डस्ट्री को सुरुवात गर्नुभएको थियो उहाँहरु सबैजना हाम्रा आर्टिसन्सहरुको लागि जोरदार ताली प्रोजेक्ट म्यानेजर अनुशेष रायमाझीजीलाई पनि हामी स्वागत गर्न चाहन्छौं र धेरै धेरै धन्यवाद भन्न चाहन्छौं उहाँहरु सबैजनाले पनि एकदमै राम्रो चट्ट परेको ढाका फ्याब्रिकको लुगा लगाएर आउनु भएको छ तपाईहरु पनि लोभिनु भएको छ भने we will announce something special maybe you'll be able to get them later on so big round of applause ladies and gentlemen for Palpali Dhaka Association र उहाँहरु सबैजनालाई रिप्रेजेन्ट गरेर म सागरजीलाई अगाडि आएर केही शब्द भनिदिनुको लागि अनुरोध गर्न चाहन्छु I'd like to request Mr. Sagar to kindly take us through the legacy of Palpali Dhaka.
धन्यवाद यस कार्यक्रममा पाल्नुभएका महामहिम राजदूतज्यू अर्थ सचिव मधु सर तानसेन नगरपालिकाका मेयर साहब विभिन्न मन्त्रालयका सचिवज्यूहरू र उपस्थित सम्पूर्ण महानुभावहरू आजको दिन पालपाली ढाका आफैमा एउटा इतिहास बोकेको थियो भन्ने दिनहरू आइराख्दाखेरि फेरि यसलाई एकपटक पुनः उत्थान गर्नुपर्छ भनेर पाल्पामा हामीले ढाकाको लागि केही गर्नुपर्छ भनेर स्थानीय सरकार तानसेन नगरपालिकाका मेयर साहबसँग केही गरिराखौँ भन्दा भन्दै हामीसँग विभिन्न माध्यमबाट चिरञ्जीवी दाइ पूर्व गभर्नर उहाँले हामीलाई लिङ्क गराइदिनु भयो बलजित सरसँग र त्यसमा हामीसँग बस्दाखेरि सानो भेटघाटमा हामीलाई लागेको थिएन कि यो पालपाली ढाका फेरि यो रूपमा हामीले पाउन सक्छौं भनेर आमाहरूले सुरु गर्नुभयो घरमा 2015 सालमा आमा र बुवाले एउटा तान राखेर जुन सुरु गर्नुभयो बिस्तारै त्यसलाई बढाउँदै जाँदाखेरि 42-43 सालतिर हाम्रो कारखानामा मात्रै 500 जना कामदारहरू हुनुहुन्थ्यो जुन बिस्तारै घट्दै जाँदाखेरि करिब हाम्रोमा 10 जना कामदार मात्रैसँग हामीले काम गरिरहेका थियौँ र त्यसमा हामीलाई लागेको थियो अब फेरि यो पालपाली ढाका यो रूपमा फेरि आउँदैन भन्ने हामीलाई कता लागिरहेको थियो र हामीलाई अब बिस्तारै हामीले यो व्यवसाय छाड्ने हो कि अरू कुनै व्यवसाय गर्ने हो कि यत्तिकै मेहनत गऱ्यौँ भने अरूमा पनि हामीलाई केही हुन सक्छ कि भन्ने खालको पनि कता मनमा हामीलाई कुराहरू आइरहेको थियो। त्यसले गर्दाखेरि यो प्रोजेक्टसँग हामी आबद्ध हुन पायौँ। यसमा हामीले लुम्बिनी प्रदेशका पूर्व मुख्यमन्त्री उहाँलाई हामीले कुनै हालतमा पनि हामीले बिर्सिनु हुँदैन। उहाँले पनि हामीलाई यो काम गर्नुपर्छ भनेर हामीलाई प्रोत्साहन गरिदिनु भयो। मधु सर यसको चाहिँ यो यत्रो ठुलो यो गर्नेमा मधु सरको जुन एउटा हात छ त्यहाँसम्म लिङ्क गराइदिने हाम्रो पूर्व गभर्नर चिरञ्जीवी दाई हुनुहुन्छ। उहाँहरूले यो सबै चिज आफ्नो पालपाली भइसकेपछिको एउटा जुन माया र स्नेह उहाँहरूले देखाउनु भयो। यस्तै गर्दाखेरि नै हामी यो ठाउँसम्म आइपुगेका छौँ र अब हाम्रो जर्नी मलाई लाग्छ हाम्रो यात्रा यहाँबाट अहिले भर्खर सुरु भएको छ। हामी आज पालपाली ब्रान्ड आज हामी जुन यहाँ हामी लन्च गर्दैछौँ यसले हामी राष्ट्रिय अन्तर्राष्ट्रिय बजारसम्म हामी पुग्न सक्छौँ भन्ने हामीलाई विश्वास पनि लागेको छ र हामीले यहाँ हाम्रो सामानहरू देख्दा अझ पनि हामीलाई विश्वास लागेको छैन यो हामीले बनाएको हो र हामीले यतिसम्म गर्न सक्ने रहेछौँ भन्ने बल्ल हामीले चाहिँ यो सपनाबाट हामी भर्खर बिउज्यौँ जस्तो हामीलाई महसुस भएको छ। हाम्रो यो प्रोजेक्ट आइसकेपछि हामीले यो प्रोजेक्टमा तालिम मात्र दिने होइन यानि उत्पादन मात्रै गर्ने होइन। यसले यो ढाका बुन्दाखेरि प्राय हामीसँग महिला कामदारहरू हुनुहुन्छ जो महिलाहरू घरको सबै काम सकाएर आफ्नो बालबच्चालाई स्कुल पठाएर सासू ससुरालाई गर्ने स्याहार सबै गरेर घरको काम सकाएर कारखानासम्म आउनुहुन्छ र उहाँहरूले यो फुर्सदको समयमा बुनेर हामीलाई यो जुन अहिले हामीले उत्पादन गरेको छौँ त्यसमा र यसमा यो ढाका हेर्दामा कपडा जस्तो मात्रै देखिन्छ होला। यहाँहरूले देख्न सक्नुहुन्छ हामीले लुम पनि लिएर आएका छौँ। यो ढाका बुन्नको लागि यत्तिकै बसेर सरस्वती हेरेर मात्रै बुन्न सकिँदैन। यसमा जति दिमाग चलाउनुपर्छ त्यति नै हात पनि चलाउनु पर्ने हुन्छ र हामीले बुनकर जो हाम्रोसँग हुनुहुन्छ उहाँहरूलाई हामीले कलाकार भन्न पनि रुचाउँछौँ। उहाँहरूको आफ्नो कलालाई कपडाको माध्यमबाट उहाँहरूले हामी माझ पस्किनुहुन्छ जुन चिज हामीले बजारसम्म लिएर आउने गरिरहेका छौँ। र अन्त्यमा फेरि यो प्रोजेक्ट UKaid Skills जसले हामी छितरबितर भएर सबैजनाले कारखाना करिब पाल्पामा पुग्दाखेरि प्रत्येक टोलमा प्रत्येक घरमा हामीले तानको आवाज सुन्न सक्थ्यौँ। बिस्तारै हराउँदै त्यो तानलाई हामी बिगारेर झ्याल ढोका जाडोमा आगो ताप्नको लागि त्यो दाउराहरू प्रयोग भइरहेका थिए। त्यस्तालाई फेरि हामीले फ्यालिसकेकोलाई धुलो लागेको भाँचिएकोहरूलाई हामी झिकेर यसलाई फेरि एउटा चाहिँ पहिलाकै ठाउँमा हामी ल्याउनु पर्छ भनेर हामी अहिले 9वटा कारखाना हामी यसमा लागिरहेका छौँ। यत्रो वर्ष तपाईँको 15 सालदेखि यो व्यवसाय सुरु भए तापनि अहिलेसम्म यसको हक हितको लागि र यसको कुरा गर्ने हामीसँग कुनै पनि एउटा प्लेटफर्महरू थिएन, कुनै पनि सङ्गठन थिएन र हामी 2 वर्ष अगाडि हामी सङ्गठन पनि हामी एउटा दर्ता गर्न हामी सफल भएका छौँ। जुन पालपाली ढाका सङ्घ भनेर हामीले स्थापना गरेको छौँ। त्यसकै माध्यमबाट हामीले बिस्तारै यो कुराहरू सबै बजारीकरणका कुराहरू छन्, उत्पादनका कुराहरू छन्, तालिमका कुराहरू छन्। हामी बिस्तारै हामीले तालिम दिँदाखेरि अरूको जस्तो तालिम दिएर मात्रै हामी छाड्दैनौँ। हामीसँग आउनुभएका बुनकर तालिम लिनेहरूलाई हामी 3 महिनाको पूर्ण हामी तालिम दिन्छौँ। प्र्याक्टिकल र थ्योरिकल्ली जुन चाहिँ दुइटै गरेर हामी तालिम दिन्छौँ र उहाँहरूलाई यदि घरमा बसेर उहाँहरू काम गर्छु जो चाहिँ घरबाट हाम्रो कारखानासम्म आउन सक्नुहुन्न भने पनि हामीले उहाँहरूलाई NMB ब्याङ्कसँग हाम्रो जुन एउटा सम्झौता भएको छ उहाँहरूलाई हामी बिना धितो हामी लोन प्रवाह गर्ने पनि हामीसँग त्यो पनि हामीले प्रावधान राखेका छौँ। भने हामीलाई ठुलो एउटा समस्याको रूपमा थियो ढाकाको धागो, जुन धागो पनि हाम्रै नेपालमा उत्पादन हुन्छ र अहिले जुन उत्पादित भइरहेको छ ती धागोहरूलाई पनि हामी प्रयोग गरिरहेका छौँ। हामीसँग यही प्रोजेक्ट मार्फत हामी नेमा नेपाल यार्न म्यानुफ्याक्चर एसोसिएसनसँग पनि हामी आबद्ध भएका छौँ। उहाँहरूले हामीलाई धागोको अहिले सप्लाई गरिदिइराख्नु भएको छ भने यसलाई डिजाइन गर्नका लागि पनि हामी अहिले हामीसँग डिजाइनर्सहरू हुनुहुन्छ र यसलाई चाहिँ अब यत्तिकै पाल्पाली ढाकालाई पहिलाको जस्तो गरेर मात्रै हामी बजारमा बेच्यौँ भने हामी सक्दैनौँ। यसलाई इन्टरनेसनल अन्तर्राष्ट्रिय बजारीकरण गर्नुपर्छ भनेर पनि हामी अन्तर्राष्ट्रिय बजारीकरणमा जानका लागि हामीसँग डिजिटल्ली यसमा काम गर्ने पार्टनर्सहरू पनि हुनुहुन्छ। उहाँहरूसँग पनि हामी काम गरिरहेका छौँ। अब समय र परिस्थिति सँगसँगै हामी हिँड्न सकेनौँ भने फेरि पहिलाको जस्तै कता कता हराउने हो कि भन्ने हामीलाई महसुस भएर यी सबै चिजहरूसँग हामी मिल्दै आइरहेका छौँ। र आज मलाई हर्षको कुनै सीमा छैन। बुवाले सुरु गर्नुभयो, हामीसँग आइपुग्दाखेरि हरायो, हामीले फेरि यसलाई सुरु गऱ्यौँ र मेरो भतिजाहरू पनि आएको छ जसले म पछिको उहाँहरूले हेर्ने एउटा चाहिँ वातावरण बनिरहेको छ। यो हाम्रो परिवारको मात्रै होइन, यो अहिले हामीले पाल्पामा हामी फिजिरहेका छौँ। बिस्तारै लुम्बिनी प्रदेशमा जाने हाम्रो सोच छ। बिस्तारै हामी किन नेपालको आफ्नो उत्पादन भनेर हामी किन नजाने? हाम्रो आफ्नो हो, यो मौलिकपन छ। जहाँ जाँदाखेरि जस्तो भिडमा पनि यो कपडालाई लगेर हामी छोडिदियौँ भने यो नेपाली कपडा हो, नेपाली भएपछि पाल्पाली हो भनेर पनि हामीले ठ्याक्क चिन्न सक्ने खालको एउटा परिचय बनाएको भएर जुन यो समारोहमा यहाँहरूले सबैजना व्यस्तता भए तापनि यहाँ आइदिनु भएको छ। यहाँहरूलाई पनि म एकदम हृदयदेखि धन्यवाद दिन चाहन्छु र स्वागत गर्न चाहन्छु। यहाँहरूसँग फेरि पनि अझ भविष्यमा पनि अझ धेरै काम गर्न हामी सक्छौँ भन्ने विश्वासका साथ यहाँहरू सबैजनालाई धन्यवाद एवं स्वागत गर्दै बिदा हुन चाहन्छु। धन्यवाद, नमस्ते।
Thank you so much, Sagarji, for that lovely speech. Sagarji mentioned how when his mother and father, they started this business, at one point they had over 500 employees, and then there was also a point when it come down to only 10 employees. And it was during then when he thought that he'd almost lost all hope and felt like that was it for Palpali Dhaka. They were also maybe starting to wonder if they should look for other alternatives and see if they should get into other industries. But that's when this program also came in, and he'd especially like to acknowledge and thank Mr. Marasini, the British Embassy, UKaid, SEEP for doing whatever it takes to actually revive Palpali Dhaka. And now he feels like this is just the beginning. He feels like it is still a dream sometimes when he thinks about all this, but when he opens his eyes and looks at even this hall filled with so many people wearing Palpali Dhaka, he feels like that dream is now turned into a reality. And he mentions how talent and hard work both are required to make this fabric. And he feels like now with this association of Palpali Dhaka Association, it's finally time for Palpali Dhaka to get the recognition that it deserves and to reach the greater heights that it should have. So thank you once again, Sagarji, for that wonderful speech, I would say, and remarks. I am excited to see what the brand Palpali is all about, and we would now like to shift your attention before the launch to the screen. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to request you keep your eyes and your ears open as we rope in the sentiments attached with this brand.
We came into this world with nothing, and before long we will leave with nothing. While I'm here, I want to help people and serve the community the best I can.
Weaving a single row of motifs can easily take up to an hour. And if you miss a thread or use a color in the wrong row, it cannot be fixed. But I'm happy to work on new patterns and colors because I'm always learning.
I really had a hard time learning, but it is so much better than farming. I am now weaving with my daughter, and I'm very proud of the fabric that we are producing. And we make a good living out of it.
We ask everybody to learn to recognize authentic Palpali Dhaka so that we artisans can also thrive along with this industry.
I left the country and worked abroad for many years, but my heart was always in Dhaka. Now I'm happy working in my hometown in a craft that I love.
We need more young people to be interested and involved in Palpali Dhaka to take it forward so that it can be designed to suit a new generation.
Ladies and gentlemen, I hope these sentiments have definitely brought a smile to your face and have made you realize how important this association is. I'd also now like to acknowledge the presence of our very special guest, megastar, Mr. Rajesh Hamal, and I'd like to invite him up on stage to share his remarks on this special occasion. And I also believe that he shares a very special connection to Palpa, and we would love to hear more about it. So ladies and gentlemen, a big warm applause for Mr. Rajesh Hamal.
Good afternoon, everybody. This is quite a surprise. I didn't know I had to put in a few words to come and enjoy this afternoon here, but nevertheless, since I'm here, I might as well put in some words. It's absolutely a pleasure. Like the announcer said, I was born in Palpa, I'm from Palpa, so this initiation, this heritage that has started from Palpa, being revived is absolutely a great news for me. I'm absolutely happy. And being a Nepali, you know, my observation of Nepal is 30, 35 years ago Nepal and 300, 400 years ago Nepal was more or less the same for majority of the people and in majority of the areas in Nepal. It really hadn't changed. The lifestyle, the people, the daily chores that the people went about doing it, the kind of utensils and tools that they used in their household, kitchen, or in the farming area was more or less 35, 30 years ago and 300 years ago. So we've been able to carry on with our culture, our heritage, our lifestyle in more or less the same fashion. So the culture was actually preserved from one generation to another generation, and it was very stable and lasted for quite a bit of time. But with the onslaught of globalization and so-called modernization, along with a lot of goods, we also somehow sadly washed away all the goods that we needed to preserve. You know, with modernity, we brought in a lot of things and we changed some of the drawbacks that we had, some of the areas that needed to be changed, which was well and good. But along with it, we also washed away a lot of things that was absolutely dear to us, to our culture, to our heritage, to our tradition, in the name of modernity. And that was the sad part. And Palpali Dhaka is no exceptional, you know. Palpali Dhaka, once upon a time, did not need this kind of a revival or a special attention because it was a product that people used in their daily life. That was part of their life, part of their tradition, part of their daily ways that they went about. But sadly, in the name of modernity, you know, along with Palpali Dhaka and many other things, we sort of, you know, washed away our culture, which was very near and dear to us. And now, the revival is absolutely a great news for us, not only for the Palpalis, but also for Nepal, because this is a tradition that has a unique craftsmanship. It has a tradition that has a unique style that Nepal can call its own, very indigenous skills. So I'm so happy, and I'm so happy that the UKaid have joined hands to revive this and to bring this national heritage to a modern relevance creating job opportunities, as well as opening up new vistas and new market for this Nepali traditional skills and handicrafts. So it's absolutely good. It's better now than never, because somehow many cultural things in the name of modernity we have kind of lost, and it's a great initiation. There are so many other traditionally important things that we need to revive also. I think we should also focus on those things. But nevertheless, the initiation that has been taken for the Dhaka is absolutely great, because we did need to bring our tradition and culture to the world and introduce something that is uniquely our, that is indigenous to this country. So I thank everyone here, especially the UKaid and the other organization that is affiliated to bringing up this. And my special thanks goes to the people who are skilled to carry on with this tradition, the people who are weaving this and have that skill, because the skill needs to be preserved, and not only preserved, but also to hand over to the next generation so that the tradition is carried on. So this is absolutely important, because if we don't carry on this tradition, of course, like anything else, it can get rusty and die. So I'm very thankful. जति पनि यहाँ काम गर्नुहुन्छ तपाईहरु जो यो ढाकाको उसमा यहाँहरु सबैलाई हृदयदेखि धन्यवाद छ, किनकि यहाँहरुले आफ्नो परम्परा, आफ्नो संस्कृतिसँग जोडिएको सामग्रीलाई चाहिँ नि फेरि यसको पुनरुत्थान गर्दै हुनुहुन्छ, र यहाँहरुको योगदान, यहाँहरुको कन्ट्रिब्युसन्सको चाहिँ नि हामी सबैजनाले कदर गर्छौं, किनकि यहाँहरुले चाहिँ नि आफ्नो सिपलाई चाहिँ नि यसरी बचाइराख्नु भएको कारणले गर्दाखेरि यहाँहरुले फेरि आफ्ना आउँदा पुस्ताहरुलाई पनि हस्तान्तरण गर्न सक्नुहुनेछ. So thank you all the distinguished guests who are present here to give initiation and to boost the morale of the people who are involved with this, and especially Her Excellency the Ambassador of UK who is here, and other distinguished Nepali guests who are here. Thank you so much. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you very much, Mr. Hamal. And we would like to request you as well for the launch of the brand Palpali. We've covered the brand logo in Palpali Dhaka. So we'd like to request you to unveil and launch the brand Palpali. Ladies and gentlemen, a big round of applause for brand Palpali. Thank you very much for doing the honors, Mr. Hamal. We also have a very special lookbook that we are going to unveil, and I'd like to invite Her Excellency Nicola Pollitt on stage along with Mr. Marasini and Mr. Ashok. Please join Mr. Hamal on launching this lookbook. Ladies and gentlemen, here is the lookbook that captures the story, efforts, and aspirations of all those who are involved in this sector. Thank you to our distinguished guests for doing this honor. Thank you very much. So our special guests definitely got their part, but also to all our guests who are here, you'll definitely be getting yours towards the end of the event. It will be available right outside where we have our exhibition, and definitely as you move out towards the registration decks, you'll definitely get your copy as well. Moving forward, I would now like to request Her Excellency Nicola Pollitt for her remarks in today's special event. I'd like to invite Her Excellency on stage.
Thank you very much. Thank you. It's a real pleasure to be here for such an exciting launch and one that clearly means so much to such a lot of people. Thank you very much for the opportunity to join you today. With UK support through our Skills for Employment programme, in just 2 years, and despite the disruptions from COVID, the Palpali Dhaka industry has grown significantly. Jobs have tripled. 98% of those are held by women. Investment by firms has increased on average by 40%, and productivity has gone up by almost 30%. And the growth of new enterprises has also increased by 40%. Those are impressive figures, and they show that the partnership between the UK Skills for Employment programme and their Palpali Dhaka Association is a real and practical example of what is possible in the right conditions and with the right support. Those are when our work is locally informed and widely owned. When work is geared towards addressing the most significant barriers of growth and is industry-driven. When we help build value-based trust and unity amongst various key actors for the pursuit of a common purpose. And when we support the strengthening of sectoral and firms' capabilities. I'm proud of the work undertaken by the British Embassy's SEEP programme in support and in collaboration with Palpali Dhaka, the Lumbini Provincial Government and the Tansen municipality to enable inclusive and sustained skill-based job creation for this indigenous hand-woven heritage product. To our colleagues at the Palpali Dhaka Association, thank you for your steadfast leadership and unity. What you've done with strong support from SEEP to uplift the entire sector is truly remarkable. Your work has and will continue to improve and safeguard livelihoods of the entrepreneurs and workers associated with this sector in meaningful and productive ways. PDA's work and our partnership is important and inspiring. It's a compelling model for industry-driven, government-supported local job creation and rural economic growth. The model has mainstreamed women's economic empowerment and established a replicable public-private partnership approach, which has significantly added to the outcomes. I have no doubt that Palpali Dhaka's modern-day relevance and the emerging innovative fabric designs and products will appeal to a growing number of clients, both in and outside Nepal. Thank you also to the Finance Secretary Madhu Marasini for being a true force behind this initiative, and also for your support for the market-led transformation of Nepali industries that SEEP is working in. And special thanks also to the Mayor of Tansen, Mr. Ashok Shahi, for being the relentless champion for the resurgence of Palpali Dhaka. Your role, alongside other stakeholders from the government, the former Chief Minister of Lumbini Province, Mr. Pokhrel, Mr. Gopi Kanal, the former Provincial Secretary of Ministry of Social Welfare, and the former Nepal Rashtra Bank Governor, Mr. Nepal, who have played much-needed supportive roles for the industry, together with SEEP, is important to recognise. This is exactly the kind of support and collaboration from government that can propel and elevate many other local industries and support the resurgence of products like Palpali Dhaka. I look forward to seeing Palpali Dhaka Association develop as you move into your expansion phase, building on the success of the last 2 years. You have laid the foundations for a competitive, resilient, and inclusive future for the industry, the artisans, the designers, and the many market stakeholders associated with this sector. Dhanyavad.
Thank you, Your Excellency. ढाकासँग मेरो आफ्नो पनि सम्बन्ध धेरै पुरानो छ 2011 देखि मैले पनि ढाका लगाउन र प्रमोट गर्न थालेको थिएँ. And when I was approached for this event, I readily said yes because Dhaka has a very special place in my heart. For the past 12 years or so, I have been promoting Dhaka, and every single time I wear something made out of this fabric, I have this instant smile on my face, and it gives me an immense pleasure and pride to be wearing something so Nepali. And I also feel like the work that is being done here with Palpali Dhaka Association along with UKaid's SEEP and Tansen municipalities' support is commendable. Along with me, I am also sure that you have noticed so many of us wearing Palpali Dhaka today. And I have to mention our amazing collaborator, Ms. Ayusha Shrestha, who has graciously designed all these products that we're wearing. Ayusha is the founder and designer of AMO, and she's used design thinking into creating all these products that you see out in the stall today as well. I would now like to invite Ms. Ayusha Shrestha and request her to elaborate further on the brand Palpali and what the brand embodies and what are the various elements associated in this brand as well.
Namaste and good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for being present here today. I'm Ayusha Shrestha, founder designer AMO. AMO is a conceptually driven brand, and we work only with traditionally skilled artisans. I'm very, very grateful and so thankful that Palpali Dhaka Association, UKaid Skills for Employment Program, and the British Embassy in Kathmandu have entrusted me to not only conceptualize, but actually bring life to the Palpali Dhaka fabrics that you'll see launched today. For the last 2 years, everyone who's been involved in this movement have not only just given up everything and worked hard, but it's with sheer passion and commitment that whatever you see today has been possible. So overcoming numerous hurdles, including the pandemic, this evening what you will see is what can be done or created out of the fabrics that the Palpali weavers have created. The designs are basically in 3 broad categories, and for each design, we have special honorary guests who will launch 2 designs per category. So to unveil the labor of love, without any further ado, if I could please call upon Dr. Chiranjeevi Nepal and Ms. Purnamaya Maharjan. Please join me on the stage. So the first category we're going to launch is called the heritage. Each design under this segment has carefully been handpicked from the historical archives of the first Dhaka workshops around Palpa. Palpali Heritage Collection features a revival of the classic patterns that have been loved and cherished by Nepalis throughout the generation. So the first pattern to be launched by Dr. Chiranjeevi Nepal is the penguin pattern. Pattern was inspired by Scorpius and was designed by Meghbadin Thapa. The shape of the pattern steal glances at the screen, alternative technology has actually helped us really showcase what the possibilities of these fabrics can be. Thank you so much, Dr. Chiranjeevi Nepal and Ms. Purnama and Maya for launching our heritage collection. The second collection is my personal favorite. It's the home decor collection. For the first time, Palpali Dhaka has actually created fabrics for all your home decor needs. To do the unveiling, if I could please call with me on stage Mr. Pawan Golyan and Miss Heidi from the British Embassy in Kathmandu. The first fabric to be launched in this collection is one of the oldest and most cherished patterns in the history of Palpali Dhaka, the pyramid pattern. The one that Mr. Golyan is holding is the pyramid pattern. The modern take on this design is very versatile and will adjust to all your contemporary decor needs. This pattern has personally been designed by the Vice President of Palpali Dhaka Association, Mr. Hari Bahadur Raimaji, back in the day. The next to be unveiled by Miss Heidi is the Pagoda Buddha. This elegant pattern has been inspired by the shape of pagoda style, which can be seen in most of our traditional architecture all over Nepal. This pattern was designed by Mr. Megh Bahadur Thapa. Thank you so much, Mr. Golyan and Miss Heidi, for launching the fabrics for us. Last but not the least, our fashion collection. Again, another very versatile and exciting collection. To do the honors for this segment, could I please call upon Ms. Vidushi Rana and Mr. Sanjay Gupta? The first to be launched in this collection is the Corn Buddha. Inspired by the shapes of corns, this is one of the newest patterns designed by Mr. Chandralal Shakya. Being new to the market, this has already won many hearts, and you will see this pattern being used by a lot of the youth. With the unveiling done, I hope we can all realize the endless possibilities Palpali Dhaka can offer to all our daily needs. And ladies and gentlemen, if you thought this was it, it's not. You'll actually be seeing more designs and also some products out in the garden later this evening. We're all taking pre-orders for all the designs that you see. So we're really looking forward to your support for that. And thanks to alternative technology, we've created an innovative software that not only helps Dhaka entrepreneurs visualize, pick colors, and create the designs before actually weaving it, it also allows each one of you to create your own patterns. So really, there's no excuse why all of us can't turn out to be designers, so at least create your own patterns. This is it for me. Thank you once again for joining us. We, all the members who are part of this event, have given our first steps and given our pride and passion for this project. Now we really do need your support, so we're really looking forward to it. Thank you so much. Do enjoy the rest of your evening.
Thank you very much, Ayusha. She definitely did touch upon the alternative technology, and as I was also, while we were doing the dry run, once I saw the bag, I was like, wow, that's so nice, can I have it? And she was like, no, this is just what it could be. And नेपालीहरुको पनि कहिलेकाहीँ के बानी छ भन्दाखेरि पसलमा गइसकेपछि यो अर्को रङ छैन, यो अर्को प्याटर्नमा छैन भनेर हामी सोध्ने गर्छौं नि हैन धेरैचोटी. सो अब त्यो प्रब्लमहरुको पनि समाधान हुनुभयो. छ हामीसँग अरु रङ र यस हामी अरु प्याटर्नमा पनि बनाउन सक्छौं भनेर ढाका एन्टरप्रेन्योर्सहरुले अब देखाउन सक्नुहुन्छ र अझ बढी बिक्री गर्न सक्नुहुन्छ. So with alternative technology, I think the options or the possibilities are truly endless. We also have to mention that multiple organizations have come together and their collective efforts have set in motion important constraint addressing market linkages, innovations, financing, and skills for inclusive sustainability and competitiveness of the Palpali Dhaka industry, for industry and artisans both. It was in 2019 that this collaboration between Palpali Dhaka Association and UKaid Skills for Employment Program, SEEP, started. Through this video now, ladies and gentlemen, we would now request you to take this journey with us and experience how it started, what we had to overcome, where we are now, and get you excited for the future. So ladies and gentlemen, let's have a look at this wonderful video.
ढाकामा मसिनो धागोहरूसँग खेलेर यो बनाउनु पर्ने हुन्छ. सबै यसमा चाहिँ हातको औँलाहरू सँगसँगै दिमागहरू पनि चलाउनु पर्ने हुन्छ.
यो कपडा मात्रै हैन, हाम्रो संस्कार हो, हाम्रो संस्कृति हो, हाम्रो कला हो र मान्छेको भावना जोडिएको छ.
हामीले चाहिँ यो 2015 सालबाट आफ्नो फ्यामिलीबाट चलाएको थिएँ. 25 सालबाट हाम्रो नानीहरू 14 अञ्चलबाट आउनुभयो अनि उहाँहरूलाई सिकाइदिएँ.
जुन त्यो दर्ता भएका कारखानाहरूको चाहिँ कामदारहरू विशेष गरेर तपाईको घर-घरमा काम गर्नेहरू पनि भेटिन्थ्यो. कुनै समयमा हामी कहीँ घुम्न गयौँ, कतै गयौँ भने घरको आवाजहरू, हामीले तानको आवाजहरू सुन्न सक्थ्यौँ हामीले. जस्तो रातो, कालो, हरियो, पहेँलो, सेतो रङ यो प्रयोग भएको ढाकाहरू देख्यौँ भने हामी त्यो बेलामा पालपाली ढाका भनेर हामी ठ्याक्क छुट्याउन सक्थ्यौँ.
अरू ढाकाहरूको तुलनामा चाहिँ पालपाली ढाकाको डिजाइनहरू धेरै कम्प्लेक्स हुने गर्थ्यो. यसमा चाहिँ चराहरूको अब लाली गुराँस, खुकुरी यस्तो कुराहरू चाहिँ हामीले कपडामा उतार्थ्यौँ कि. उल्टोपट्टि हेर्दाखेरि जसरी यो धागो एउटा बुट्टाबाट अर्को बुट्टासम्म धागो छोडेर लगेको हुन्छ त्यो चाहिँ मेसिनले रेप्लिकेट गर्न सक्दैन.
कति दुःख छ अनि त्यो त ढाका बुन्न त अब अनि एक फुल बुन्न 1 घण्टा लाग्छ भनेपछि त्यसमा कति थोक मेहनत छ.
कति हामीसँग यस्ता बुट्टाहरू छन् जुन 1 मिटर बुन्नलाई करिब 1.5 महिना लाग्ने खालको बुट्टाहरू पनि छन्.
यसको बजारमा डिमान्ड चाहिँ कहिले पनि कम भएको छैन, तर बुन्ने मान्छेहरू पाउन गाह्रो भएको भएर यसको प्रोडक्सन कम भएको भएर चाहिँ बजारमा अलिकति कम आउने भएको.
अहिले त सबैले ढाका पालपाली भनेर जहाँ बुने पनि पालपाली भन्छ.
देख्दा त सेम हाम्रो पालपाली जस्तै आउँछ, नचिन्नेलाई त पालपाली नै हुन्छ.
हाम्रो पनि आफ्नो गल्ती छ. समय र परिस्थिति सँगसँगै हामी परिमार्जित भएर हामी अगाडि बढ्न सकेनौँ.
अब द्वन्द्वकालमा चाहिँ यहाँनिर ढाकाको फ्याक्ट्रीहरू त खुलेन. हामीलाई चाहिँ पछि लाग्यो कि अब हामी चाहिँ अब हराउने चान्स छ होइन भनेर चाहिँ हामीलाई युनिटी हुन चाहिँ त्यसले पनि बढी जोड दियो के.
Journey that Palpali Dhaka has taken. The British Embassy in Kathmandu has been instrumental with their funding through UKaid, SEEP, and the steadfast support that they've provided for the people and the institutions in Palpa. So thank you to all the colleagues from the British Embassy as well who've joined us in this very special occasion. We would now like to move towards the closing reflections, and I'd like to start by inviting the team leader of UKaid SEEP, Mr. Baljit, on stage. who's also wearing a fabulous product made out of Palpali Dhaka.
Thank you so much. Good evening, everyone. It's indeed an honor and privilege to have you all here amongst us this evening. What a joy and what a pleasure. 2 years of hard work, 2 years of hard toil. Indeed an honor and privilege. It was 2 years ago. Dr. Sharma, you're the one who called me, right? Dr. Sharma was the one who called me to say that Mr. Marasini wants to see me. I said, I don't know why Mr. Marasini wants to see me. And at that time, he was the Secretary of the Ministry of Economic Affairs and Planning at Lumbini Province. Well, with my deputy team leader at that time, and I think he's here as well. Prasanna, are you here? Yeah, I think you are, wherever you are. I went to see him, and Marasini asked me, sir, I call you Marasini because you're more a friend now than a big boss as well. He asked me to get into a car with him and drive to Palpa. I'd never been to Palpa. He wanted the entire team of CP, it was just not me, it was me, Prasanna, and a few other people, and then Stuti followed later. He wanted to take the leadership role in catalyzing the revival and resurgence of Nepal's most cherished product heritage, which I didn't know about. Still, I have reflections of that meeting. We all were bundled up in that Nanglo Cafe, if you all remember the Nanglo Cafe, and listening to all the hardships that had engulfed the struggling jewel craft of Palpa and the nation. At the meeting, Mr. Marasini therein called for a new action. He called for a call of action, and that call of action took shape at that meeting. The mayor made a passionate case for revival. He was there. The businesses began to echo the need to do something different. And the provincial government was eager to put its weight behind the efforts. So, what did we do? I remember Marasini sir called me back with my entire team, and he said, you're going to go see the chief minister. And the chief minister is ready to give you all the support that you need to make this industry happen. So we started to walk up to the chief minister's office at the time, and he basically said, if you don't make this thing a success, you are going to be no longer welcome in this province. I still remember him saying that. We decided that the only way to survive and thrive is to come together through what is now the PDA, the Palpali Dhaka Association, and be united in our purpose to change the perception and the look and feel of Palpali Dhaka. We needed to change. Under the patronage of the mayor and also the chief minister at the time, we started to bring together entrepreneurs, designers, buyers, consumers, and the government to chart the path to restoring the legacy of this heritage craft. From diverse vantage points, including rejuvenating weaver interest, as well as incorporating Palpali culture and traditions that have embodied this handicraft for generations. And our event today and the video that you saw demonstrates how it unfolded. Given the tremendous potential of this heritage for modern-day relevance and the continued appeal for identity-based, high-quality handicraft collections, we collectively began reassessing the entire weaving infrastructure, looked at redesigning looms, skilling new artisans, engaging designers, fair trade entities, and marketers to see how we could re-engineer and re-innovate. We began a rigorous outreach to women weavers engagement. We started a women weavers engagement process. I recall the mayor and Sagar getting into a car with me and my team, the entire team, to travel to rural municipalities of Tansen, Matagadi. Remember, Mayor, we went to Matagadi. You took me to Matagadi. Tinau, Rampur, Ribdikot, Raina Devi, Chahara. All these rural municipalities where women had given up hope about weaving. That's where we went to all these women. We traveled to these places. We started to talk to these women. Let's start to revive this industry. Setting crafting norms for designs was a very painstaking process, as you've seen. Sounds very simple and very easy. With both artisans and the development teams contributing equally to make sure that the fabrics and the products that you saw today emerge true in spirit to their cultural origins. We linked Nepali entrepreneurs with local and global players to embrace culture-based innovation, recyclable materials, and also story-embedded products that will eventually continue to define the way Palpali Dhaka will relate to its innovative products of the future. More recently, the revival of Nepal's arts and crafts is becoming a major priority for the government of Nepal. as our discussions of Mr. Marasini and several other senior members of the government have revealed. With policy incentives now starting to be looked at very, very closely to deem them as a major exporting industry of Nepal. This will contribute to increased foreign exchange earnings and expedited employment generation and earnings for thousands of Nepali craftsmen, artisans, promoters, and businesses. What we have done with PDA is catalyze co-creation. That's what it's all about, and Stuti says that very well. And to support for rural enterprise embodies a true PPP model. And we are glad that we're doing similar work in the yarn industry with Mr. Pawan Golian here. It's the same type of experiment that's unfolding as we speak, working with the 4 largest yarn industries factories in the country with a view towards enhancing exports. To create, and what we are doing there with the yarn industry, the construction industry, the ICT industry, and the ag business industry, we're creating such coordinated platforms that you saw today for skilling in emerging new job roles. Whether it is spinning, or it is heavy equipment, it is construction, it is artificial intelligence, it is cloud computing, it's poultry, or we're building this organizational capability. All of these are aimed at local job creation, acceleration support for access to blended finance by firms that is being made possible, and not to forget diversity inclusion, productivity enhancement, and enterprise growth in the up-and-coming sectors of the Nepali economy. With this, I'd like to close and like to thank everyone for being a part and parcel of this journey, and a special thanks to you all for being here and making us feel very proud of what we all have achieved today collectively. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Mr. Baljit Bora, for sharing your remarks, and congratulations on being allowed in the province again now that this project is viable and thriving. I would now like to request the Mayor of Tansen Municipality, Mr. Ashok Kumar Shahi, to come forward and share his thoughts in this special event.
धन्यवाद। आजको यो अति महत्त्वपूर्ण सेलिब्रेसनमा उपस्थित हुनुभएका महामहिमज्यू, नेपाल सरकार अर्थ मन्त्रालयका सचिवज्यू, यहाँ उपस्थित हुनुभएका विभिन्न सङ्घ संस्थाका प्रतिनिधिज्यूहरू र हाम्रो यो कार्यक्रमलाई अझ महत्त्वपूर्ण बनाउन आउनुभएका महानायकज्यू र यो कार्यक्रममा उपस्थित हुनुभएका पूर्व योजना आयोगका उपाध्यक्ष मेरा आदरणीय गुरु पृथ्वीराज लिगलज्यू, यो ढाका उद्योगलाई पाल्पामा स्थापित गर्ने परिवारबाट प्रतिनिधित्व गर्नुहुने वर्तमान पाल्पाली ढाका सङ्घका आदरणीय अध्यक्षज्यू र यस सङ्घमा रहेर काम गर्नुहुने सम्पूर्ण साथीहरू तथा यो ढाका उद्यमलाई यहाँसम्म ल्याउनको निमित्त सधैँ सधैँ प्रोत्साहन गर्नुहुने बलजितजी लगायत अन्य साथीहरू, म सर्वप्रथम आजको यो उत्सवमय दिनमा आफूलाई पनि खुसी लागेको छ र म सम्पूर्ण तानसेन नगरवासीहरू, पाल्पालीहरू जो यो उद्यममा संलग्न छ उहाँहरूको तर्फबाट आजको यो स्थितिसम्म ल्याउनको लागि जुन सहयोग गर्नुभयो त्यसको लागि आभार प्रकट गर्न चाहन्छु, धन्यवाद दिन चाहन्छु। र म अहिले कल्पना गरिरहेको छु कि यो स्थितिमा आउँदाखेरि यो ढाका उद्योगलाई स्थापना गर्ने स्वप्नद्रष्टा आदरणीय गणेशमानज्यूलाई पनि म स्मरण गर्न चाहन्छु। पूर्ववक्ता धेरै मित्रहरूले धेरै कोणबाट बोल्नुभयो, तर मलाई के लाग्छ भने मैले अहिलेको अवस्थामा पाल्पालीहरूले के सोचेका छन्, यो उद्यममा संलग्नहरूले के सोच्छन्, त्यो कुरा म यहाँहरूसँग सेयर गर्न चाहन्छु। आदरणीय उपस्थित महानुभावहरू, यहाँहरूलाई थाहा छ कि ढाका उद्योग लगभग धराशयी भइसकेको अवस्था थियो। त्यो ढाका उद्योग सँगसँगै यो उद्योगमा संलग्न तमाम ती आमाहरू जो यो उद्योगमा धेरै जसो महिलाहरू हुनुहुन्थ्यो, उहाँहरूको सपनाहरू पनि भत्किरहेको थियो, उहाँहरूको आकाङ्क्षाहरू भत्किरहेको थियो। र एक किसिमले भन्ने भने एउटा बेरोजगारको स्थिति समाजमा जुन किसिमको त्यसको कारणले गर्दाखेरि उत्पन्न हुने अरू किसिमका एउटा प्रभावहरू देखिन थालेको अवस्थामा हाम्रो मधु मरासिनीजीले यो उद्योगलाई रिभाइभ गर्नुपर्छ भन्ने हिसाबले प्रदेश सरकारसँग जोड दिनुभयो र त्यसले अहिले त्यो ढाका उद्योगमा संलग्नहरू जसले एउटा धागोलाई केलाएर आफ्नो सपनाको संसार बनाएको थियो, सपनाको क्यानभास सिँगारेको थियो। त्यसको अहिले सपना साकार भएको छ र अहिले हामी पहिलो चरणको त्यो सपना पुरा गर्ने पहिलो स्टेपमा आइपुगेका छौँ। मलाई लाग्छ अब यो विश्वासको यात्रालाई हामीले अगाडि बढाउनुपर्छ र यो दायित्व भनेको खास गरिकन पाल्पा जिल्लामा यो उद्योगमा संलग्न उद्यमीहरूले लिनुपर्ने जरुरी छ। यहाँहरूले खुसी मान्नुपर्छ कि अहिले हामीले सरकारको कुरो मात्रै होइन, युकेएड, सिप लगायत स्थानीय सरकार, प्रदेश सरकार र सङ्घीय सरकारले पनि यसलाई अगाडि बढाउनको निमित्त जुन किसिमका प्रयास र पहलहरू गरेका छ, यसले यो उद्योगले अब पाल्पाको मात्रै होइन सिङ्गो नेपालको एउटा प्रतिनिधित्व गर्छ, सिङ्गो नेपालको एउटा महत्त्वपूर्ण एउटा प्रोडक्टको रूपमा आफूलाई स्थापित गर्न सक्छ। त्यति मात्र होइन, अहिले तानसेन नगरपालिकालाई एउटा ढाकाको उद्यमीहरूको नगरको रूपमा स्थापित गर्नको निमित्त नीतिगत रूपमा नै एउटा चाहिँ के पास गरेको छ भने अब महिला दिदीबहिनीहरू तपाईँहरू श्रमिक होइन मालिक बन्नुहोस्। त्यसको निमित्त तानसेन नगरपालिकाले जे सपोर्ट चाहिन्छ, निर्ब्याजी ऋणका कुराहरू, ब्याङ्कमा ग्यारेन्टी बसेर ऋण दिने कुराहरू, ढाका उद्यम सङ्घसँग टाइअप गरेर मार्केटिङ गर्ने कुराहरू लगायतका कुराहरू हामी तपाईँहरूलाई सहयोग गर्छौँ भनेर हामीले नीतिगत निर्णय पनि गरिसकेका छौँ र अहिले किसिमको उत्साह थपिएको छ। कमसेकम हामीले समृद्धिको कुरा भनेको हाम्रो आफ्नै घरबाट, आफ्नै ठाउँबाट, आफ्नै उसबाट सुरु गर्नुपर्छ। यो समृद्धिको यात्राले हाम्रो नगरपालिकालाई समृद्ध बनाउन सक्छ, यो मुलुकलाई समृद्ध बनाउन सक्छ र आर्थिक रूपमा जुन बेलामा आत्मनिर्भर हुन्छ त्यो बेलामा एउटा स्वाभिमान जोगिन्छ र त्यो स्वाभिमानको यात्रामा हिँड्नको निमित्त यो ढाका उद्योग एउटा सहयोगी साबित हुनेछ भन्ने कुरा अहिले पाल्पालीहरूले बुझेका छन्। तर एउटा कुरा के छ भने हामीले जसरी विगतमा यो ढाका उद्यमले आरोह अवरोहहरू देख्यो, खास गरिकन जुन बेलामा यो मुलुक भीषण द्वन्द्वमा फँसेको थियो, त्यो बेलामा यहाँका सबै कुराहरू धराशी हुनुको सँगसँगै यो ढाका उद्योग पनि लगभग कोल्याप्स भएको अवस्था थियो। सामग्रीहरूको सप्लाईका कुराहरू, त्यसको बजारीकरणका कुराहरू, यो श्रमिकहरू पाउने सवालका कुराहरू लगभग जिरोमा पुगिसकेको अवस्था थियो र त्यो खरानीबाट जुन अहिले एउटा चाहिँ बौरिएर उठेको छ, यसले चाहिँ अब हामीले विश्राम लिनुहुन्न, अगाडि बढ्नुपर्छ भन्ने कुरा अहिले यसले सन्देश दिएको छ। र यो अहिले एउटा सामान्य कार्यक्रम होइन, यसमा पनि लेखिएको सेलिब्रेसनको कुरा हो। हामीले यसलाई अब प्रत्येक दिन हामी एउटा उद्देश्यप्रति एकाग्र भएर अगाडि बढ्ने हो भने पाल्पाले एउटा नेपालको मेन प्रोडक्टको एउटा प्रतिनिधित्व गर्न सक्छ भन्ने विश्वाससहित यो स्थानमा आइपुग्नको निमित्त जसले सहयोग गर्नुभयो त्यसको निमित्त पाल्पामा अवस्थित सम्पूर्ण उद्यमीहरूको तर्फबाट आभारसहित धन्यवाद दिँदै अन्त्यमा फेरि एकपटक महामहिमज्यूलाई पनि म आभार प्रकट गर्दै आफ्नो भन्ने अन्त्य गर्छु। धन्यवाद, नमस्कार।
Thank you very much, Honorable Mayor, for sharing your views. He also explained how badly the Dhaka industry was affected and now how happy he is to see this complete transformation of the industry and the artisans. He's also promised and committed by saying he would do whatever it takes in his power and on a policy level as well to transform and uplift Dhaka workers to Dhaka entrepreneurs. So I think that is a fabulous commitment itself, and we thank Honorable Mayor for saying that. I would also now like to request Mr. Madhu Marasini, Finance Secretary, Ministry of Finance, to share his thought and remarks in today's occasion as well.
धेरै धन्यवाद। यो पाल्पाली ढाकाको जिउँदो इतिहास मेरो अगाडि हुनुहुन्छ आदरणीय पूर्णमाया महर्जनामा, तानसेन नगरपालिकाका मेयर अशोक साईज्यू, महानायक राजेश हमालज्यू, मेरा अग्रज डाक्टर चिरञ्जीवी नेपाल, डाक्टर शङ्कर शर्मा, हाम्रो ब्रिटिस महामहिम भर्खरै निस्किनुभयो, उहाँ र साथीहरूलाई पनि म सम्झिन्छु, र बलजितजी, सृष्टि, यहाँ सबैजना युकेएडको प्रसन्न जो हुनुहुन्छ सबैजना, यहाँहरू सबैलाई शुभ सन्ध्या भन्न चाहन्छु। र आज मलाई एकदम खुसी लाग्छ र यो खुसी म तीनटा सन्दर्भ जोडेर यहाँहरूलाई व्यक्त गर्न चाहन्छु। एउटा चाहिँ म त्यति बेला यो 2018 को कुरा हो, म न्युयोर्कमा नेपालको महावाणिज्य दूत थिएँ। संयुक्त राष्ट्रसङ्घको मुख्यालयमा यस्तै कुनै कार्यक्रम थियो, हामी साथीहरू त्यहाँ फङ्सन एटेन्ड गरेर म्यानहट्टनमा हिँडिरहेको थियो। म अब देशलाई रिप्रेजेन्ट गर्ने भएको कारणले म चाहिँ ढाका टोपी र यस्तै आउटफिटमा थिएँ। म्याराथनमा हिँडिरहेको बेला एकजना त्यहीँको लोकल मान्छे चाहिँ दौडिँदै आउनुभयो कि अनि त्यसपछि हस्याङ बस्छ आर यु फ्रम नेपाल भनेर सोध्नु भयो कि म एकदम छक्क परेँ कि मान्छेले मलाई कसरी नेपाली भनेर उ गर्यो मैले टोपी लगाएको छु भने मलाई त्यति बेला रियलाइजेसन भएको थिएन कि अनि मलाई हाउ डिड यु नो मी भने कि यस भने बिकज अफ युर ह्याट भने कि आई सो प्राउड मेरो पहिचान हेर्नुहोस् त मेरो पहिचान न्युयोर्क म्याराथनको गल्ली गल्लीमा त्यसरी चाहिँ फैलाएको रहेछ केले ढाकाले आई सो ह्याप्पी है अनि समय क्रमले कस्तो भयो भने म नेपाल फिर्ता आएँ आइसकेपछि मेरो फेरि पोस्टिङ हाम्रो त धेरै छन् यस्ता कहानी नभनौँ अनि लुम्बिनी प्रदेशमा भयो त्यहाँको चाहिँ अर्थ सचिवको रूपमा भयो म अर्थ मन्त्रालयमा धेरै वर्ष बसेको भएर अनि म त्यहाँ जाँदाखेरि मेरो दिमागमा चाहिँ थियो किनभने म अलिकति इ कमर्समा अलिकति नेपालको प्रोडक्ट्सहरूलाई प्रमोसन गर्नुपर्छ भन्ने मेरो जहिले पनि मान्यता थियो मेरो दिमागमा के थियो भने अलिकति इ कमर्समा जोड्छु त्यहाँको लोकल प्रोडक्ट्सहरू अफकोर्स पालपाली ढाका गुल्मीको कफी त्यहाँको जुन निच प्रोडक्ट्सहरू छ नि त्यस्तो आइटमहरू चाहिँ म अन्तर्राष्ट्रिय बजारमा जोड्न सकिन्छ कि भन्ने हिसाबले गइरहेको थिएँ अनि मैले जोइन गरिसकेपछि अनि मलाई चाहिँ अब त्यहाँको मेरो स्टाफहरूले सबैले चाहिँ खादाहरू लगाइदिनु भयो त्यति बेला एउटा लहर के आएको थियो भने त्यो सेतो खादाको सट्टा ढाकाको खादा लगाइदिने चाहिँ लहर आइरहेको थियो सबैले ढाकाको खादा लगाइदिनु भएको थियो अनि त्यसपछि मलाई चाहिँ त्यसको मार्केटबारे एक्सप्लोर गर्न मन लाग्यो अनि मैले चाहिँ मेरो स्टाफलाई भने यो खादा तिमीले ल्याऊ कहाँबाट भनेपछि उसले हाम्रो जो भेन्डर थियो नि त्यो भेन्डरको नाम पनि मैले उसलाई बोलाऊ भने मार्केट कति रहेछ यसको भनेर बोलाऊ भने अनि मैले बोलाएर उसँग कुरा गरेको म यति डिसपोइन्टेड भएँ त्यो सबै मलाई लगाइदिएको खादा त गोरखपुरबाट आउँदो रहेछ ल हेर्नुहोस् है मलाई लगाइदिएको खादा वाज मेड इन गोरखपुर नट इन पाल्पा म त छक्क परेँ मैले त नेपाली लगाइरहेको छु भन्ने थियो नि त मलाई त अनि मलाई त एकदम सही पनि भएन है अब म चाहिँ आई जस्ट वान्टेड टु गो टु तानसेन होइन अब के हो यो किन यस्तो भइरहेछ भने अनि मेरो त्यति बेला मेरो एकाउन्टेन्ट हुनुहुन्थ्यो लीला अर्यालजी उहाँलाई पनि सम्झिन्छ अनि मैले उहाँ लोकल हुन्छ तानसेनको मैले भने भाइ मलाई तानसेन लैजाऊ त्यहाँको मान्छेहरूलाई म चाहिँ जम्मा गर्नु पऱ्यो यो त हुँदै भएन हाम्रो सेन्टिमेन्ट चाहिँ अरूले क्याच गरेर क्यास आउट गरिरहेछ हाउ कम आई क्यान टलरेट यो त हुँदै सक्दैन भनेपछि अनि एउटा वान फाइन मर्निङ होइन उहाँसँग भयो म अहिले पनि मलाई स्मरण छ हाम्रो मेयर साहब सागरजी हामी तानसेन नगरपालिकाको एउटा सानो हलमा बसेर त्यो चाहिँ सुरुवाती थियो बिफोर आई ब्रट बलजितजी होइन त्यो पहिला चाहिँ त्यहाँको अलिकति उहाँहरूलाई राखेर सोधेँ तपाईँहरूको समस्या के हो के गर्दै हुनुहुन्छ हामीले के गरिदिन सकिन्छ भनेपछि केही कुराहरू चाहिँ फाइन्ड आउट भयो समस्याहरू कस्तो थियो भने अब यही सस्तो प्रोडक्टले बजार पिट्दियो भएको तानहरू पुरानो भयो मार्केट छैन के गर्ने भन्ने थियो अनि त्यसपछि मान्छेहरू पनि सबै जब छोडे भन्नुहुन्छ अनि तालिम दिनुहुन्न भनेको तालिम दिएर के गर्ने सर अब त्यो फाइनेन्स गर्न पनि सकिँदैन यताउति भनेर त्यति बेला गोपी खनाल भन्ने मेरो साथी पहिला धेरै लामो समय उद्योग मन्त्रालयमा काम गरेँ उहाँ पनि उयो लाइक म्यान्डेट हामी पनि सँगै थियौँ त्यसपछि एउटा आइडिया चाहिँ जन्मियो त्यो आइडिया के जन्मियो भने यसलाई चाहिँ पब्लिक प्राइभेट पार्टनरसिप मोडलमा चाहिँ अगाडि बढाउनुपर्छ भन्ने आइडिया जन्मिसकेपछि अनि यो अहिले हाम्रो डाक्टर शङ्कर शर्मा जानुभयो त्यो एआइआइएन भन्ने एउटा प्रोजेक्ट छ युकेएडको त्यो प्रोजेक्ट किन भन्दाखेरि म चाहिँ अर्थ मन्त्रालयको वैदेशिक महाशाखाको सहसचिव हुँदाखेरि त्यो प्रोजेक्टमा सही गर्ने मान्छे मै थिएँ कि अब कतिपय कुराहरू चाहिँ अलिकति जोडिन पनि पर्छ अनि मलाई के थाहा थियो भने त्यो प्रोजेक्टले यस्तो खालको स्किलहरूलाई अलिकति सपोर्ट गर्छ भन्ने चाहिँ मलाई थाहा थियो अनि उहाँहरू थ्रु चाहिँ देन आई कम टु हाम्रो बलजितजीलाई मैले उति बेला पनि चिनिरहेको थिएँ तर अलि कम भनौँ न सामान्य थियो त्यसपछि शङ्कर सर थ्रु अनि बलजितजीलाई मैले लेखेँ आफैले इमेल पनि लेखेँ उहाँसँग कुरा पनि भयो आई कल हिम टु भुटोल एन्ड ब्रट हिम एन्ड हिज टिम्स टु तानसेन त्यसपछि त 2 वर्षको बिचमा नतिजा तपाईँहरूसँग छ म कति खुसी छु होला तपाईँहरूले इमेजिनै गर्न सक्नुहुन्न तर अझै धेरै खुसी हुनेछु किनभने त्यति बेला हामीले जसरी लगभग 300 जति महिला दिदीबहिनीहरू अहिले पनि 98% चाहिँ महिलाहरू हुनुहुन्छ भने त्यो एउटा के छ भने हाम्रो वैदेशिक रोजगारले के सांस्कृतिक विचलन पनि आयो भने चाहिँ बिचरा कामै छैन सबै दिन सक्नुहुन्न त अनि के गर्नुहुन्छ त अहिले त कम्तीमा तान दिन सकिन्छ काम दिन सकिन्छ भने त उहाँहरू इन्गेज पनि हुनुहुन्छ र आफ्नो हस्बेन्डहरूलाई पनि उहाँले पनि ल यहीँ आऊ यहीँ अपर्च्युनिटी छ भनेर भन्न पनि त सक्नुहुन्छ नि हैन त्यसरी सुरु गरेको मलाई सागरजीहरू त्यहाँको हाम्रो रायमाझीजीहरू पौडेलजीहरू सबै मैले देखिरहेको छु तपाईहरुको फेस यहाँ थुप्रै फेसहरू देखिरहेको छु त्यति बेला हामीले जाँदाखेरि जुन भेटेका थियौं तपाईहरुले यसरी पिकअप गर्नुभयो र यसमा धेरै मेहनत छ UKaidको UK एम्बेसी र बलजितजी र उहाँको टिमको धेरै नै मेहनत छ है र सँगसँगै अब मेरो बोस पोलिटिकल बोस त्यति बेला शङ्कर पोखरेल हुनुहुन्थ्यो उहाँले पनि मैले आएर भनेको कुरा मानिदिनु भयो अनि त्यति बेला हामीले अलिकति फाइनान्स चाहिँ पैसा पनि सपोर्ट गर्यौं फाइनान्स प्रदेश सरकारबाट गर्यौं तानसेनको मेयर साहबले त्यहाँबाट गर्नुभयो UKaidले हामीलाई अल टेक्निकल सपोर्ट्सहरू सबै गरिदियो हैन इन्टरनेसनल मार्केटसँग ब्रान्डिङसँग धेरै सपोर्ट गरिदिनु भयो त्यसले आज यो रूपमा आएको छ अब एउटा फ्यासन इन्डस्ट्रीको रूपमा पहिचान बनाइरहेछ मलाई लाग्छ अब प्यारिसमा न्युयोर्कमा हुने फ्यासन शोहरूमा मान्छेहरूले चिन्नेछन् कि यो प्रोडक्ट चाहिँ नेपालको भनेर त्यो स्टेजमा जाओस् त्यो खालको न्युजहरू मैले देख्न पाऊँ भन्ने छ यहाँहरूले जुन आज यो लन्चिङ प्रोग्राम पनि हेरिटेज लन्चिङ प्रोग्राम पनि गर्नुभयो UKaidलाई स्पेशल थ्याङ्क्स पाल्पाली ढाका एसोसिएसनलाई मेयर साहबलाई सबै मैले यहाँ अनि बिर्सेको छु भने पनि तपाईहरु सबै मेरो हृदयमा हुनुहुन्छ र म आज एउटा ब्युरोक्र्याट भएर पनि केही इनोभेसन के इन्टरप्राइज डेभलपमेन्टमा कन्ट्रिब्युसन गर्न सकिँदो रहेछ भन्ने मलाई फिल पनि भएको छ म जस्तै अरू मेरा ब्युरोक्र्याट साथीहरूले पनि आफूहरू जहाँ छन् त्यहाँबाट यस्तै केही गरिदिए भने मलाई लाग्छ यो देशको मुहार चेन्ज गर्न पनि सकिन्छ थिङ्स आर पोसिबल लेट्स होप वी क्यान चेन्ज थ्याङ्क यू भेरी मच नमस्कार
Thank you very much, Honorable Secretary, for those inspiring words. And thank you so much for being an important catalyst in this entire process. And we're really grateful for the initiatives that you've taken as well. अब यो रिफ्लेक्शन्सहरु पछि म फ्लोर पनि ओपन गर्न चाहन्छु आई क्यान सी दैट देयर आर पीपल फ्रम ऑल वॉक्स अफ लाइफ some very influential and important people are here who would really be able to collaborate with our Dhaka entrepreneurs and take this to the next level. So अब म फ्लोर ओपन गर्न चाहन्छु यहाँले भर्खरै हेरि पनि हाल्नु भयो ढाका कहाँसम्म पुग्न सक्ने रहेछ त के हुन सक्ने रहेछ त भनेर तपाईले देखिसक्नुभयो अब हामी बाहिरको मार्केट प्लेस चाहिँ क्विकली इनोग्रेट गरिहाल्छौँ म रिक्वेस्ट गर्न चाहन्छु Honorable Finance Secretary. I'd also like to request Ms. Heidi to kindly join Mr. Rajesh Hamal as well. If you could kindly proceed towards the marketplace and inaugurate. हामी यो मार्केट प्लेस इनोग्रेट गर्न गइरहेका छौँ यो मार्केट प्लेसमा ढाका एन्टरप्रेन्योर्सहरूले बनाउनु भएका विभिन्न सामग्रीहरू डिस्प्लेमा हामीले राखेका छौँ ट्रेडिसनल ढाका फ्याब्रिक सँगसँगै ढाकाबाट के कस्ता कुराहरू बनाउन सक्छन् त हाम्रो होम डेकोर लाइन सँगसँगै हाम्रो फ्यासन लाइन पनि यहाँले देख्न सक्नुहुन्छ सो अ बिग राउन्ड अफ अप्लज फर द इनोग्रेसन अफ दिस मार्केट प्लेस र यहाँहरू सबैजनालाई जानकारी पनि गराउन चाहन्छु तपाईले www.palpali.com मा गएर अनलाइन पनि शप गर्न सक्नुहुन्छ अब
आजको दिन मेरो लागि अति नै महत्त्वपूर्ण दिन मध्येमा उत्कृष्ट दिनको रूपमा मैले यसलाई लिएको छु किनभने म यो ढाकासँग आबद्ध परिवारबाट म आएर आजको दिन यो मैले यहाँ आएर यति ठुलो कार्यक्रम सहित मैले यो लन्च गर्न पाउँदाखेरि म अति नै खुसी छु
It's a pleasure to be here tonight to celebrate the fantastic work of Palpali Dhaka Association. We're really pleased to be supporting this public-private partnership with the Government of Nepal, Palpali Dhaka Association, in collaboration with the UK Government. We think the material produced is fantastic and we look forward to seeing the ongoing success of Palpali Dhaka.